Everything is love. There's nothing that isn't love. Even the confusion is love in one form or another.
What is up, truth seekers, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving deep into a name that still sends shivers down spines: Charles Manson. Now, you might think, Manson? That's old news, right? But what if I told you the twisted tactics he used to control his family back in the 60s are eerily similar to the manipulation we see happening online right now? We're talking about how a charismatic cult leader captivated and controlled, and how those same psychological strings are being pulled in the digital age through social media, online forums, and beyond. It's a wild ride, and trust me, you're going to want to stick around for this one. But before we get into the dark heart of it all, if you're fascinated by mysterious history and how it connects to our world today, do me a solid and hit that subscribe button right now. And hey, as we go through this, I want to hear your thoughts. What are the biggest manipulation tactics you see online? Drop a comment below. Let's get this conversation started early. All right, let's get into it. August 1969, Hollywood, the land of dreams, became the scene of a waking nightmare. Brutal, ritualistic murders that shocked a nation and signaled for many the dark end of the decade of love and idealism. The architect of this terror? A charismatic drifter, a failed musician, a self-proclaimed guru, Charles Manson. He didn't wield the weapons himself, yet his family killed on his command. Charles Manson emerged from a troubled childhood and a life in and out of institutions. Released from prison in 1967, he stepped into the swirling vortex of San Francisco's Summer of Love, a time of rebellion, spiritual seeking, and for some, profound alienation. The late 1960s were a period of immense social upheaval. Young people were questioning authority, experimenting with new lifestyles, and often felt disconnected from mainstream society. This created a fertile ground for charismatic figures offering alternative realities and a sense of belonging. Manson, with his intense gaze and anti-establishment rhetoric, preyed on these vulnerabilities. He gathered a following, mostly young women, who became known as the Manson Family. He offered them an escape, a purpose, a leader. At Spawn Ranch, an old movie set, Manson cultivated an isolated world. He used a cocktail of techniques: charisma, psychological manipulation, drugs like LSD, and a constant barrage of his own apocalyptic philosophies, including his infamous helter-skelter race war theory, twisted from a Beatles song. How did Manson exert such total control, leading his followers to commit horrific acts of violence? It wasn't mystical brainwashing, but a calculated exploitation of human psychology. You see, cult leaders like Manson are masters of manipulation. They often use love bombing, intense affection and validation to draw people in. Then comes isolation, cutting off contact with the outside world, family, and friends. This creates an echo chamber where the leader's voice becomes the only truth. Fear, intimidation, and the breakdown of individual identity are also key components. Manson systematically dismantled his followers' sense of self. He controlled their information, their relationships, even their thoughts. He presented himself as a messianic figure, the only one with the answers in a chaotic world. His followers, often young and searching for meaning, became utterly dependent on him. This creation of a closed ideological loop, where dissenting voices are silenced and the leader's narrative is constantly reinforced, is a hallmark of cult dynamics. The family believed Manson's prophecies, his twisted interpretations of reality, because they were immersed in his world with little access to alternate perspectives. You see, the Manson family operated in the physical isolation of a desert ranch. Today, similar dynamics of control and manipulation can unfold in the seemingly boundless expanse of the internet. The internet, for all its benefits, can also foster digital cults or extreme echo chambers. Algorithms can feed users a constant stream of content that reinforces pre-existing biases, isolating them from different views. Charismatic online figures can cultivate devoted followings, sometimes spreading harmful ideologies or misinformation to people who are vulnerable or seeking community. Now, let's consider the following parallels. Charismatic leaders, for example, such as online influencers, political demagogues, or extremist recruiters, can use digital platforms to project charisma and authority, drawing in followers much like Manson did in person. Echo chambers and isolation, for example, social media algorithms and curated online communities can create powerful echo chambers where individuals are primarily exposed to information that confirms their beliefs, mirroring the ideological isolation of the Manson family. Another commonly used tactic is love bombing and grooming. Online predators and extremist groups often use tactics similar to love bombing, showering targets with attention and validation to build trust and loyalty before introducing more extreme ideas. These ideas are spread, we can now move on to the exploitation of vulnerability. Just as Manson targeted individuals seeking belonging, online manipulators often prey on those feeling isolated, angry, or searching for an answer in this complex world. The last parallel, misinformation and alternative realities. Spread of fake news and conspiracy theories online can create alternative realities for followers, much like Manson constructed his helter-skelter narrative. The recent rise of sophisticated AI deepfakes adds another layer of potential deception, blurring the lines between reality and fabrication. You see, the tools are different. Instead of LSD and physical isolation, it's algorithms, targeted content, and virtual communities. But the underlying psychological principles of manipulation, exploiting the need for belonging, certainty, and charismatic leadership, remain disturbingly similar. Charles Manson died in 2017, but the fascination with him and the darkness he represents endures. Countless books, documentaries, and even fictional portrayals continue to dissect his crimes and his psyche. Why this lasting grip on our collective imagination, you may ask? Well, Manson embodies a kind of charismatic evil that is both terrifying and compelling. He challenges our understanding of how someone can persuade others to commit such heinous acts. Studying figures like Manson is, in a way, an attempt to understand the darker potentials within human nature and society. Adding to the mystique are persistent conspiracy theories, such as the idea that Manson was somehow connected to CIA mind control programs like MKUltra. While lacking definitive proof, these theories reflect a broader societal distrust and desire to find deeper, hidden explanations for inexplicable evil. This tendency to seek out grand conspiracies in the face of unsettling events is also amplified in the digital age, where misinformation can spread rapidly and communities can form around shared, often unverified beliefs. The Manson story is more than just a true crime tale. It's a chilling case study in the power of manipulation and the vulnerability of the human mind. In an era saturated with information and misinformation, the lessons from Manson's reign of terror are more relevant than ever. The key defense against manipulation, whether by a 1960s cult leader or a modern online entity, is critical thinking and media literacy. We need to question sources, be aware of our own biases, and seek out diverse perspectives. Understanding how echo chambers form and how charismatic figures can exploit psychological needs is crucial. Recognizing the tactics of isolation, fear-mongering, the creation of us versus them narratives, and the demand for unquestioning loyalty are vital skills in navigating today's complex information landscape. The allure of simple answers from a confident leader can be strong, especially in times of uncertainty, but history warns us of the dangers. So there you have it, Charles Manson, a name synonymous with terror, but also a stark reminder of how easily minds can be swayed. The parallels to today's digital world, with its influencers, echo chambers, and viral misinformation, are pretty chilling, right? The methods might have evolved from desert communes to digital networks, but those basic human vulnerabilities, they're still here. And that's why understanding this stuff, this mysterious history, is so damn important. It's not just about looking back, it's about arming ourselves for the present. So, what do you think? Are we seeing new Mansons in the digital age? What are the biggest red flags for online manipulation that you've noticed? I really want to know your take on this, so drop them comments below. If this journey into the shadows of history and its modern echoes got you thinking, make sure you're subscribed and hit that notification bell so you don't miss our next deep dive. Thanks for watching, stay curious, stay critical, I'll see you in the next one.